6 pressure washer brands that will cost you more than the sticker price, and 5 that will actually hold up. Some of these entries are about parts that fail early. A couple of them are about something more serious: recalls tied to explosions, carbon monoxide poisoning, and electrocution risk. We're starting with the most severe issues first. Number 6. Ryobi. In August of 2025, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recalled roughly 780,000 Ryobi electric pressure washers across the US and Canada after their capacitors were found to overheat and burst, sending parts flying with enough force to fracture bones. TTI, the company behind Ryobi, had received 135 reports of overheating, including 41 explosions and 32 injuries to consumers' fingers, hands, faces, and eyes. A class action lawsuit filed in December of 2025 argues the recall itself is inadequate, since the free repair kit requires consumers to handle a capacitor that can still discharge a taser-like shock even after being unplugged. This wasn't an isolated incident for the brand either. Ryobi issued separate recalls for a mower fire hazard and a hedge trimmer laceration hazard earlier that same year. 3 safety recalls from one company in a single 12-month span. Number 5. Generac. This is a defect the company has known about since at least 2022 and still hasn't fully resolved. Generac's electric start pressure washers use a rechargeable battery to power the start and stop button, and that button can malfunction and cause the engine to self-start without warning. If that happens in an enclosed space like a garage, it creates a real carbon monoxide poisoning risk. Generac first recalled about 53,000 units for this exact defect in 2022. In May of 2026, the company expanded that same recall to cover additional models, meaning the fix from 4 years earlier didn't actually solve the underlying problem. Number 4. DGIVOVO US. This is a Chinese import sold exclusively on Amazon, and in April of 2026, the CPSC recalled it because the pressure washers lack a ground fault circuit interrupter, the safety device that cuts power before a shock becomes lethal. Without it, a wet cord or a damaged housing turns into a real electrocution risk. Number 3. PowerSmart, sold under the American brand. Owner reviews describe a consistent pattern beyond normal wear, welded components failing within the first use, back-ordered replacement parts with no estimated restock date, and a customer service process that leaves buyers returning the unit to the retailer rather than getting it repaired. One buyer's exhaust muffler cover came unwelded on its first use, then spent days getting no response from the manufacturer before giving up and returning it. When the manufacturer becomes the bottleneck instead of the fix, that's a brand-level problem, not a one-off unit. Number 2. Craftsman's electric pressure washer line specifically. In Consumer Reports 2021 member survey, Craftsman's gas-powered models performed reasonably well, but the electric models scored a poor rating for owner satisfaction, a meaningfully worse showing than the same brand's own gas lineup. If you're set on Craftsman for the name recognition, know that the split between its gas and electric performance is real and documented, not just brand perception. Number 1. DGIVOVO US and BAYOTAK USA. And this pair is worse than a typical bad brand because they may not even be two real companies. Both were recalled by the CPSC in 2026 for the identical missing GFCI hazard. But check the fine print, and the 2 recall listings describe the exact same model number stamped on the back panel: C4012+1500C. Same product, 2 different storefront names. This isn't an isolated case either. At least 5 other Amazon-only brands, Ajiman, Patulio Direct, Li Hao Tool, Fengrong Tool, and Sweet Crispy, were recalled in 2026 for the same missing part. When a defective design can simply reopen under a new brand name the moment its old one gets flagged, The brand on the box tells you nothing about what's actually inside it. Before you buy anything on this list's opposite side, 3 checks matter more than the brand name on the box. First, confirm GFCI protection is present and UL listed, not just claimed in the marketing copy, especially on anything sold exclusively through a third-party online marketplace, rather than a retailer that vets its suppliers. Second, check the CPSC's recall database for that specific model before you buy, not just a general brand search, since a defect can sit unresolved for years, as it has with Generac's Start button, first flagged in 2022, and still not fully resolved as of the 2026 expansion. Third, separate gas and electric performance when you're researching a brand that sells both, since owner satisfaction can differ sharply between the two, even under the same name. That's the avoid list. Here's where your money is actually well spent. Number 5. Ego. Its 56-volt cordless pressure washer earned Pro Tool Review's Best Cordless recognition, and like the rest of Ego's outdoor lineup, the appeal is consistent power delivery without a cord or a gas tank. The same brand caution that applies to Ego's other tools applies here too. Buy from an authorized retailer to keep the battery warranty intact. Number 4. Simpson. This is a brand that specializes almost entirely in pressure washers, rather than treating them as one line among many, and that focus shows. Its parent company, FNA Group, manufactures its own pumps and components rather than sourcing them out, which gives Simpson tighter control over quality than brands that assemble from third-party parts. Its ALH3425 pairs a Honda GX200 engine with a AAA triplex pump, commercial-grade components in a residential-friendly package, and it's assembled in the United States. Number 3. Westinghouse. In Consumer Reports' 2026 pressure washer rankings, 3 of the top 4 gas models carry the Westinghouse name, with the DeWalt PX3400 sitting at the very top of the entire gas category, ahead of brands most buyers would guess first. It's not the loudest brand in the aisle. It's just the one that keeps winning the actual lab tests. Number 2. DeWalt. Consumer Reports placed DeWalt at the top of its pressure washer reliability polling, and DeWalt also topped the 2024 America's Most Trusted Pressure Washer report. That's 2 separate years-apart surveys reaching the same conclusion, which is a stronger signal than either one alone. Number 1. Kärcher. The company invented the category, building Europe's first hot water pressure washer in 1950, and in 2024 it earned a Guinness World Record as the current best-selling pressure washer brand globally. Consumer Reports consistently rates Kärcher's tested models well, and the brand's scale, over 3.4 billion euros in revenue in 2025, means parts, accessories, and service infrastructure are easier to find than almost anywhere else on this list. A pump seal will eventually wear out on any pressure washer, Kärcher included. What sets Kärcher apart is what happens after that. 70 years of dedicated engineering behind the fix. 11 brands, 1 pattern worth remembering. The failures on the avoid side weren't really about cleaning power. They were about missing safety hardware, unresolved defects, and manufacturers that either couldn't or wouldn't stand behind their product after the sale. Check for GFCI protection, check the recall database, and check whether a brand's reputation is actually built on the category or just borrowed from another one. That's the difference between a pressure washer that pays for itself and one that becomes a liability in your garage.